Swanee River, far, far away. That's where my heart is yearning ever, home where the old folks stay.
Welcome to Florida Men on Florida Man with Greg, Wayne, Josh, and Cameron, the podcast where Floridians discuss the legends, lore, and crazy stories that always seem to take place in Florida. Listen, everybody, this is episode 119 at Jesus. This is the first time that Joshua, who sits right across from me in the studio, decided to sketch me with a pen and paper.
That is a good-looking portrait of you, I'd have to say.
I don't think it's accurate in the slightest.
Hyper-realistic, actually.
It's not. How is it? I look like a...
The button nose really does it for me.
The button nose.
Okay, so just to kind of clarify something, I've been sitting here, and you know how I know that this was a mean portrait? Because the entire time, Josh is just like giggling at me
right
while he's drawing in his little coloring book and licking his thumb for some reason.
I don't know what that was for. I think
me
that was
neither.
for wind direction.
And it hurt my confidence.
I'll sign it for you.
I don't want you to sign it. I want you to throw it in the garbage. I don't want it anywhere near my house or my children. He's signing it. Can you hear that,
right,
guys?
baby.
Okay. I think it looks great.
Here's the thing. What's going to happen is we're going to go to headlines.
Right.
And I'm going to be over this, but I want you to know that during this transition, I'm going to be upset.
There you go, baby.
I'm going to be kind of upset if Josh doesn't sketch me one during headlines, to be honest.
What am I holding in my lap?
That's your phone.
Why does it look like I'm covering my crotch with like a Bible or something?
Well, I don't know. That's your personal life, amen?
Okay, headlines.
Headlines.
All right, we have a teacher from Bartow, Florida.
Come on, Bartow.
Okay.
Teacher.
Being a role model for her students by going the extra mile.
Awesome.
Going out to dinner with them after a basketball game at the school.
That's how to do it. Celebrate a championship.
You want to celebrate. You want to be part of the community. What you don't want to do is what she did actually, which was she goes to McDonald's. She fights an entire group of the students in the parking lot of this restaurant. So
students of the high school she taught at.
I think so.
Okay, so not like a rival team.
That's unclear, actually.
That would be appropriate.
So there was a basketball game. There was an argument that happened at the game. This group of students went to a local McDonald's, and the teacher, this teacher from Polk County, and a mother of one of the teens that was in this argument show up, approach the group. They begin arguing with them. And then at some point she physically fights the group is what the article says.
Wow.
Like not even like specific student. She just starts swinging at the group, I think, which you don't want to do. She struck one student in the face, removed her wig and struck a second student in the head. Now
she removed her own wig or she removed the student's wig?
You know what?
She pulled the wig off and said, in case you didn't know it was me.
I really wish
now you know.
that I knew whose wig came off. Because
it's kind of what we're counting on here.
It specifically just says, struck one student in the face, removed her wig, and struck a second student. Okay. It's unclear whose wig came off. But a wig came off and two heads were punched.
Could you imagine being in school? Now, I know that kids can be mean.
Right.
And so they probably deserved it. But can you imagine, like, teasing a teacher or seeing a teacher in public and it escalates to the point where they're fighting you?
Probably.
Right. Well, the thing is, like, the teacher wasn't even a part of the argument initially at the school, like at the ball game. And so I don't know why she, went to, approach these students at this McDonald's.
Yeah.
You don't want to fight in a McDonald's parking lot.
Not a group either. That's odds. The odds aren't there. And
well, you don't want to get in front of the drive-thru.
Who won?
True.
Well, she's going to jail for child abuse.
So she lost.
I think she lost.
Yeah, okay. Just want to clarify that.
The wig won.
Yeah, because you can tie your wig around your neck like a cardigan.
Right.
But it's still not going to be in the same shape that you.
That's actually fight protocol. If you have a wig on, you tie it around your neck
like a cardigan, or around your waist, like it's a nice summer day.
Right.
Okay, our next
Says the
headline.
rich kid.
We have a Florida man who was struck by a cat. Okay. After arguing with his
Teacher.
maybe girlfriend, maybe just friend.
Whoa.
But he was struck by the cat after the girlfriend or
Lock that
friend
cat up.
threw the cat at him specifically after the argument. Pause first.
Pause first.
Pause first.
So the cat was neutral in the argument.
No, the cat was a weapon.
The cat. Oh yeah. Well, it
but then
became
he
a
was
weapon.
forced upon the boyfriend.
Right. I don't think the cat had an opinion in
Yeah,
the argument.
right.
You don't think so?
He just had the weapon.
But the way the article kind of frames it is like the boyfriend's arguing with the girlfriend, and the cat goes, "No, you didn't."
Right.
And then jumps up, slaps him in the face.
Exactly.
Yeah, huck me over there because I'll scratch his face.
Yeah. Exactly.
Use me.
Yeah, use me.
please.
as a
Put me
weapon.
in.
So who won?
The cat.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So,
It's being
anyways,
put down.
the suspect here, okay, 56-year-old ex-con. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that wasn't needed, was it?
Well, you know,
We'll see.
It's it's part of the article. Accused of hitting the victim directly on the left side of his face too. Okay, and then the victim also had injuries on his knee and his foot, as well as scratches from the cat.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you
It
know,
sounds like the cat fights better than all of them, if I'm
Right.
being
Yeah.
honest.
It
I
is
mean,
a
the
legit cat fight.
connected.
Whoa,
Yeah.
a legit cat fight.
a legit cat fight. Yeah, don't use animals as weapons.
Thank
No,
you. Yeah, I think
Lord,
that should
no.
be the bottom line premise of our show.
Yeah.
Don't use animals as weapons.
Use people as weapons.
Yep.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Fists only.
Fist only. Don't use animals. Don't throw an animal at your significant other.
Yeah. Like
Don't
I'd
throw
take
anything.
Right.
Why
Don't
is
throw
it
anything?
like I would say on average, someone should do the math. If you listen to our show from the beginning, how often does a headline include someone throwing something at their significant other? I feel like it's every week.
There's always a conveyance of another material at someone else.
There's a lot of arguments, okay? And I think that you guys should have had this discussion with our next Florida man, and specifically told him, fight with your hands only.
no,
this guy-
a feet fight.
No.
Is this a feet fight?
This guy threw a manatee at somebody.
They're in danger.
Yeah,
Very
Friskers.
dangerous.
Friskers first.
That's a big deadlift, too. That's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Florida man, okay, is sentenced to 20 years in prison
Okay.
for cutting off his wife's lover's.
Manatee.
Manatee.
Right.
As a manatee.
Okay.
Okay.
So this Florida man found out that his
Woof.
wife was cheating on him with a
Manatee.
neighbor.
Oh, a neighbor.
Oh,
neighbor.
well then, I don't know. Kind of.
So
The neighbor knew.
We're in
Right.
deep water, my
Yeah.
guy.
he found
We're in deep
out
water.
that he was being cheated on. He got upset. He took a gun over to his neighbor's
He
house.
cut it off with a gun?
No,
oh
just-
my gosh. That sounds really rough.
He took a gun over, pointed at the neighbor, said, I know
Don't-
what you've been doing.
Okay.
Go into your bedroom. He tied the guy up on the bed. Okay.
Oh,
Still holding
this
him
is
at
some
gunpoint.
dirty.
And then took a pair of scissors.
Hold on.
No more.
That's
No
it.
more. We
That's it.
understand.
Yeah.
So he's in prison for life?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he pled no contest.
Okay.
So he was like, yep, did that.
Mm-hmm.
That was me. He got 20 years in prison, 10 years probation, and then like $250,000 fine.
That's an
What's
expensive manatee.
Yeah.
That
Did
is-
they sew the manatee back on?
No, he took it with him.
He
Okay.
took it with them.
Oh, to prison?
No,
Oh.
back over to his house. I don't know. Let's go on.
I gotcha.
No, hold on.
Hold
Who got
on.
more jail time?
I've got questions.
Yeah, who got more jail time? The guy that did the cutting or the person that
Yes.
threw the cat on the boyfriend?
Oh, definitely the scissors guy.
Okay, just want to double check.
What
Right.
if, Saul, how they had to like cut their own?
Right. Let's go on. Our
arm
next
off?
one's way happier.
This guy acted like we brought that headline.
I know. He brought it. It's your
We're
fault.
just responding to
And
his
he was
headline.
high-fiving us before we
Right.
walked in.
All right. So Josh is going to like this one.
Okay.
Let's go to the
I
villages.
like that one.
I like the last one.
The villages?
The villages.
Come
Here we go.
on.
Finally.
All right. Did you guys know that there is an entire movie documentary about the villages
Yes.
that came out last year?
I've
Yes.
heard of this.
All
yes.
right. It's called Some Kind of Heaven.
Right.
Amen.
Right. Josh has seen it 20 times probably.
I got to every night to fall asleep.
Yep.
All right. Well, I want to talk about now. This documentary goes through and follows, I think, 5 people around, like their experiences with the villages. And I don't think they were like put into the best light. I think that
until they're put down, right?
Most of the
Okay, I'm watching a different show.
Yeah, you're on a different series. Okay. Most of the documentary is actually following people that are kind of like not super happy with the villages.
Right.
Really?
But anyways, this one guy seems to like it. Okay. This Florida man lives in a van.
Right.
Okay. Doesn't actually
happy.
live in the villages. He lives in a van, drives around the villages to all the pools and common areas.
Not anymore.
And will basically talk women that are well off.
Wow.
Into basically bankrolling him for a few days, like giving him a place to stay. They're like hanging out. He's going around his van to the different pools in the villages. And
how much bankroll can you need for like a few days in a van?
Well, I think the thing is like he's not staying in the van when he's finding the right women.
With the ladies.
Right.
I see what's happening.
So
there.
he's looking for well-off women that are looking for some company.
Yep.
He's a cavalier gentleman.
Yes.
Who's doing things like that.
He must not have a lot of luck because how long would you have to search, right?
Well, I think he's just like the village. There's a lot of people in the village.
Well, and the villages have rules too. You can't, the guests can't stay over a certain amount of time.
Okay, so that's the thing is, so ever since this movie came out
and our episode on it,
right? And yeah, we call him out right now.
Yeah, we do.
But anyways, ever since the video or the movie came out, people have caught on. Like the villages, the government, and I don't know.
That's Walter's van over there,
right?
Basically, you can get guest passes to go into the pool and those kind of places, and so he'd get those from multiple people. Well, they've caught on and like shut it down. He's like blocked in the system, so he has left the villages.
Wow,
okay?
They have orders to shoot him on sight.
They do, yeah.
That's what I heard.
He's seductress.
He's driven north a little bit to Ocala, but he's pulling the same tricks here. Right now, he's and he loves it.
Be on the lookout.
The guy's name's
Senior Succubus.
Right,
is on
Dennis
the prowl.
Dean is his name, which is a great name.
Wow,
83 years old. Okay,
the gigolo.
He's just a drifter, but yeah, he loves it. He's like, I have no plans on stopping. He's
of course he loves it.
Yeah, he's like, I got a refrigerator in my van.
That's all you need.
I'm living the great life. Right now, he's finding women to help him with his t-shirt business, and
he sounds like a 19-year-old SoundCloud rapper.
Here's the other thing.
He literally is.
This I'll read this like verbatim. He has several women helping him out for free with a t-shirt business and printing his emails, which I don't know what that means.
I don't know if he knows how.
Why are you printing emails?
Hey, can you print my emails
here,
for me?
Email me here.
Yeah, and then he writes on the back of the paper, and then those people respond. I guess that's how Greg handles our emails, actually.
Welcome to another edition of Florida Men on Florida Man, fans on Florida Men on Florida Man.
Come on, man.
All right, I'm your community manager, Jason, and this is a recurring segment where we ask you to give us your thoughts, your questions, etc., for a chance to be featured on the show. And I got to say, this time, a lot of you guys answered the call. We're going to go over some questions. A few of you submitted, so let's jump right in it.
Let's do it.
All right, so this comes from the great, wonderful state of Georgia.
Come on,
my home,
our
neighbors. Beautiful.
And this is from Amanda in Valdosta. She says, would you ever be open to investigating small town mysteries outside of Florida?
Come on.
Oh, well.
That's kind of a cool idea.
Outside of Florida.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is
a
a Florida show.
We all have different opinions on it.
I guess if we're from Florida, we can technically investigate other things.
Right.
Because we're still
We're
Florida,
Florida men. Yeah. Investigating.
That's a tricky question.
Georgia. I feel like.
What
was her first name?
This is from Amanda.
Amanda, I think we'd be open to it. I think part of the issue is we're only legally certified and qualified to investigate Florida mysteries.
Yep.
So we would have to take classes in order to be certified to investigate other states.
Like every episode is notarized.
Right.
Exactly.
So if we go up to Georgia.
Also, we don't care about your dirty state.
Oh,
Yikes.
Whoa! Cameron!
Salty.
I don't feel that way.
Listen, Florida pride is real.
I don't feel that way.
In this room.
I think we want to in spirit, but legally we probably won't be able to.
That's true.
That's the better way to put it.
All right, this one's from Ashley in Kansas City, the show me state. Now, before we get to the question, Josh, tell me 3 facts about Missouri.
Oh, Missouri is one of my favorite states.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah, we know that.
That's where Tyra Banks studied tort law.
Oh, no way.
Yep. It's actually
what was the kind of law?
tort law. It's
Right.
like it's not criminal. It's more like an unjust action happened to you.
Okay.
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 Yeah, she studied tort law there.
Tort law.
They have the highest amount of undulations.
In Missouri?
Yep.
Show me state.
And
That's
it
what
is
that means.
one of 38 states that can grow blueberries.
No way.
really?
Yeah. Very rare.
So Tyra Banks did twerk law there.
tort, not tort law.
Undulations.
Ungulations and blueberries.
Blueberries.
Got it.
Missouri.
So the question is from Ashley there in Kansas City, and she says, if you could have any guest on the show, who would you each pick?
Tyra Banks.
Come on.
Easily.
No
Who would
brainer.
we pick?
Yeah, individually, who would we pick?
Oh, I would definitely have Amanda on
What?
because I really want to talk about Georgia.
Okay.
Now he wants to
Now
apologize
he's on fire.
on a different question.
Listen,
Wow.
I'm interested.
Are
you know
you?
why
He wants
she
to
thinks
apologize.
Georgia's so cool.
She never even said that.
Yeah, well, it just kind of implied to me.
Okay.
I think if I had to have like a celebrity or somebody on the
Yeah.
show, I would just use the show's leverage to get kind of in proximity to celebrities that I want to meet,
Like,
Right.
like Tom Hardy,
the voice guy.
the guy from The Voice.
Yep.
And probably I don't know. It used to be Ellen, and I found out she was mean to people.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so I canceled her, and then
You did?
I think maybe Barack Obama. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me, I take mine back. Adam Levine, Super Bowl show last year.
Okay.
Yep. Shirtless. You guys know.
Was
so
that
if you
last
could
year?
have someone on the show, it would be a Super Bowl show.
Yeah, it would be Adam Levine shirtless from the Super Bowl show.
That was like
Right.
3 years
Yeah,
ago.
that was not last
But
year.
it was good.
Okay.
Okay. So instead of you, Adam Levine, shirtless, doing Super Bowl show.
Reading headlines.
I think we answered that pretty clear, actually.
Yeah.
This next question comes from across a giant ocean.
Okay,
This is from JJ in Brisbane, Australia.
JJ.
And Cam
sound
does a great
familiar.
Australian accent. Cam, show him.
Yes, he does.
Listen,
He can't even get one sound out.
I can't do it.
Okay. So he says, when COVID is over and done, would you all consider doing a few live shows for your Australian listeners?
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Airfare is kind of our pickle, right?
Yep.
Because the Concorde doesn't fly anymore. And that's usually what we fly.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
JJ, reach out to us on social, my man, and I think we'd be interested in doing that.
Going down
Absolutely.
under, yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
This is next one's from Nikki in Los Angeles. Now, I don't know if this is Nikki a guy or Nikki a gal.
That's okay. We'll
Um,
answer the
doesn't really
same.
matter.
Yeah.
Right.
LA, California. Here we go. So it says, what is the writing process like? How do you go from a blank slate to a finished episode?
Come on, that's a busy one.
Mm-hmm.
We were actually discussing this a few weeks back about how many hours actually goes into an episode when you consider like the marketing and the writing and the post production and so on and so forth. I think all in all, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's
It's a good amount.
a ton of hours.
Yeah, but we all do it kind of on our own too, like take care of our segments. And,
Right, yeah.
You know, it kind of cuts down, you know, some of the time. But, you know, my segment writes itself, right?
Yeah,
The
It does
people
write
of
itself.
Florida
Wow.
write it for me.
that's true.
And it's beautiful.
We do a lot of brainstorming. Jason, actually, who's the community manager, is also one of our writers, and so we do writing sessions together and kind of brainstorm on stuff. We have Kaylee, who is a fantastic researcher for our show, and she gives us just a ton of material. So a lot of people are involved.
Right.
But actually on Patreon, patreon.com/FMOFM podcast, there are a lot of behind the scenes stuff. You can see our show notes and kind of how it all comes out. So
And some real art.
yeah, for sure.
All right. So one last question. This is from a local guy, Sean, here in Tampa. He says, I'm in the middle of a bad date right now. Quick,
Uh-oh.
how do I escape? Now, he submitted this a few days ago, so
A
I don't know
bad
how
date?
this thing turned out.
A bad date.
Yeah.
Wow. It
But
could be a
let's
long
pretend
date.
this is a comment he just left. He's in a bad date. How should he escape?
Okay.
I think Josh
Wow.
answers this one.
Well, I gotta give it some thought. Having only had a few bad dates,
right.
order yourself a pizza
right.
Right.
and then be like, hey, my man,
My food's here. I got to go.
my food's here.
You just leave with the delivery driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's my first thought. What I would use.
If Sean, that's his name?
Sean in Tampa.
Sean, if you're listening, order a pizza.
Yeah,
and then
Domino's
leave,
preferably.
And leave with the Domino's delivery person.
Yeah, because nobody would be like, "Oh, he really ordered Domino's, right?"
Right.
Because unless Domino's is the only option.
This episode sponsored by Pizza Hut.
Have y'all had a Domino's pizza? Hey, fellas.
Hey,
Hey,
buddy.
Josh.
So I got a letter today.
Right.
Came in the old the Jiffy Pop popcorn
Right.
popped open. I was like, "Oh, this is a weird way to
A letter for
receive a
us?
letter."
Right.
Yeah.
And Wayne and I just totally agreed with you, even though that makes zero sense.
Bingo. I was testing you.
Right.
That's how you know we're friends, though. We don't
Yeah.
want you to ever look bad on air, so we're like,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Exactly.
that's right.
We
Did
agree
y'all
with
ever
you.
do Jiffy Pop over the stove?
Every
No.
day.
I never did that
Okay.
because I have a pot and a microwave.
Okay, good to know.
Okay.
So this letter says, "Hey guys, got to meet one of my favorite celebrities.
Okay.
Nice.
And was curious if you guys have ever met a celebrity."
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What comes to mind? A few years back, we did a meet and greet at a Comic-Con in Tampa,
Mhm.
That was fun.
and it was a lot of fun. And we were walking back to the hotel, and we walk into the entrance, and it's myself, Cameron, and Josh.
Hello.
And we walk by this guy in passing, and Josh goes, "What's up, dude?"
Like
and-
you would.
Yeah, like, right. So I'm assuming it's like a listener or somebody we just met, and we walk over to the bar, and I turn around, and standing 20 feet away is Creed Bratton from The Office.
Right.
He was a cool guy.
I
And
know,
you couldn't even introduce us.
but Josh didn't even introduce us to like Cameron and I would have
It was
loved
more
to
of a
meet him.
one-on-one.
or tell us that he was there. Like, you could have even pointed.
He literally
Well-
walked by and goes, "What's up, dude?" And Creed's
Well-
like, "Hey."
Well, we made eye contact.
Right.
He gave me the old "hey," and I gave them the "sup, dude,"
Yeah.
like you would. And
Right.
then he didn't say, "Hey, who are your two friends?"
Yeah, I see
Yeah, but
why
that
it's-
was your chance to introduce us to what
I didn't
I'm
even
assuming
think
is a
he
friend.
would be important to both of you.
You're a terrible celebrity
That's like my
wingman.
favorite show.
Yeah, well, I didn't care.
I didn't want my celebrity sighting to turn this into an argument.
Right, true.
Yeah.
But that is
Josh
what
has a great picture
I do have
from
a
like
great
50
picture
feet
of
away.
him.
It's super blurry.
Yeah,
But it
We'll
looks
post
great.
it.
you can tell who it is.
We'll
though.
post
Yeah,
it.
you definitely can.
It's it does look like a generic white guy.
I didn't even have to pay for it though.
Yeah,
Well,
So.
you know.
yeah, that's true. That's my celebrity encounter. How about Josh? Did you have one?
I did. It was when I was younger.
Okay.
Right.
You know, I had gone to this pool party, like 9th or 10th grade for me.
Right.
And I was invited by like my parents, through parents. I didn't even know really the guy that I was going with. I was kind of like his plus one.
Okay. Right.
So we show up, and it's this big monster house in O-Town, Orlando.
Okay.
Sure.
O-Town, my favorite boy band.
Right.
You guys know this.
Orlando, your favorite city.
It is, yeah.
Right.
So we show up, we're swimming. I'm in my tankini, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm doing laps because how do you say I'm fit if you don't do 5 laps right when you get there? Right?
Right. You jump in and just immediately start.
And you start powering
It's the
through.
equivalent of a kid running between classes at school. Right.
Yes, it is.
You jump at a pool party, start doing laps. Yeah. Okay. Look at
So,
Michael Phelps over there.
So we get like word that a celebrity's going to show up.
That's what's up.
But this is like a multi-age party,
Okay.
right? So it's like adults, kids. It's catered. There's like a hot pasta bar there, which was like what drew me, obviously.
Hot
Yeah.
pasta, right.
Hot pasta, not cold pasta. Gross.
Yeah, true.
It's not a deli.
This guy's so rich. He travels in circles that Cameron and I will never understand.
You guys, I'll bring you next time.
Okay, I bet you will.
My parties have cold pasta.
You won't
Ew,
introduce us to Creed
gross.
Bratton. You're not going to bring us to your parties.
Sup, dude? Oh yeah, Sup Creed. I told him I'd shout him out.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
He's trying to get his following back
I
up.
bet he is.
So I keep I'm in the slide doing the grotto,
Right.
and then I see like a circle happening around like an older woman, not
Right.
really older, but she's older than me because I'm
Yeah.
like 9th or 10th grade,
Right.
and I'm like, I recognize her, you know, primetime TV,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of good TV shows, but I'm like, I know who this girl is.
No.
I'm gonna play hard to get, right? like you do when you're in 9th or 10th grade.
Okay.
Right.
Because you're basically scared to talk to people.
Sure.
So I see her walk up to the hot pasta bar, and I'm like, time for fifths. Why not?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Let's load up on carbs.
Yeah, amen.
Right.
So I walk up to her and I go, that dancing baby bit, that was funny. Was that like a baby in like a green suit, or did they like?
Wait, was it Ally McBeal?
Well, so she goes, oh, are you trying to be funny? And I'm like, no, was it like a small child in a green suit, or was it like a real hologram?
Okay.
And then she got her hot pasta. It was done
Yeah.
via the chef. And she walks off. And I'm like, what is she
So she
Dancing Baby was big.
she didn't like your comment.
Dancing Baby was viral before viral was a thing.
Yeah. And because it was on Ally McBeal.
On the Ally McBeal show. Yeah.
Callista Flockhart.
Right.
Okay.
And then the pasta chef says, my man, that was Carrie Russell from Felicity. And I'm like, it's not the Ally McBeal? And he's like, no,
Do
two
they
different
look
shows.
the same?
I guess not.
I mean, I
No,
can't.
they don't.
I can't picture who.
I mean, their shows aired, I think, back to back on Fox.
That's where it
maybe
tricked
that's
me.
where the
I didn't
confusion
watch
came in.
so you would
either?
watch them both,
I didn't watch either, actually. But I knew Dancing Baby was big
right?
because I was always throwing like Dancing Baby jokes out there.
You get a chance to mingle with a B-list celebrity
Oh, yeah.
at a pool party,
Wow, that's hurtful.
and
Yeah, that is
you confuse her with another young lady, another
Well,
celebrity.
to be fair, yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's exactly what happened.
Okay. Yes, that's exactly what
I love it though. Carrie Russell actually listens to the show. So
Oh,
how do
wow.
you think she feels about?
Hopefully she doesn't remember the interaction.
I bet she does now.
Yeah. Well,
I bet she does now.
So
Cam?
I've had quite a few interactions with celebrities, but it's weirdly enough, it's like the same celebrity
That's
I've seen
okay.
multiple times.
Oh, John Cena.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean,
At the
I've told you guys.
Yeah, there was a time Cameron was pumping gas.
Yep.
At a gas station.
Right.
He said he was looking down at his new sneaks.
Right.
And
That sounds right.
someone approaches him. All he sees is like calves and jean shorts. And this guy goes, "You need help with that, buddy?" And it's John
What?
Cena.
I thought it was at the bowling alley that you met John Cena.
Well,
Where
that was
he helped you get
yeah.
your ball out of the rut that it was in.
out of the what?
the rut.
The rub
You know,
machine?
The rut. It was in like a rut. I guess it's
Yeah.
a gutter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you threw it so weak it didn't even like go down the gutter.
Wait, you met John Cena multiple times?
Okay, I wasn't going to tell either one of those stories though.
Okay. I thought that was the
I
one.
wasn't going to bring those up.
Right.
Okay.
So the first time it is okay. This is pretty random. The first time I met him, I'm not sure if I've told you guys this one.
Why would you not tell us a John Cena
Okay,
story?
when I was like 12,
Okay.
I'm on like family vacation,
Right.
in Daytona. Okay,
Of course.
beautiful beach, beautiful city.
Spring break.
Okay, we go to like a crab shack, right?
Come
Okay.
on.
You're on the coast. You want to eat some
Middle class crabs.
You want to eat some crabs,
right.
Okay. And so we get our food. I got
What
like
do you got?
the king crabs, like the big boys.
Dang.
We got like those
Yep.
fat legs, and so I've got those little awkward little silver
Hands.
crab crackers.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That you're trying to destroy a shell, crab shell with.
Another species with an exoskeleton.
Okay,
Right.
come on. So, anyways, I'm like struggling. You know the claw. Okay,
Right.
The
Yeah.
claw, the crab claw. I'm trying to crack it. I'm struggling. My dad's like,
You gotta have some girth to your hands.
right. I'm 12.
That's
okay?
true.
Right.
And so my dad, he's knuckle deep in a different crab, and so
Stone crab.
he's not
probably.
helping.
Yeah.
He's like, you just gotta. I mean, if you're gonna eat, you
If you
better
wanna
crack that
eat,
thing
yeah.
open yourself. So
Right.
I'm still struggling. All of a sudden, somebody comes up behind me, grabs a little silver cracker thing.
Waiter, I don't need help.
Right. And so I'm thinking it's a server, and I'm like, well, this is weird, but I guess they do that here.
Yeah.
And so he cracks it for me.
Okay.
And all this like delicious meat falls out.
You look up to
No.
thank.
Right. And so I look up thinking it's a server, but it's John Cena.
I forgot I was supposed to hum. I can't. I'm sorry I failed you. The one musical instrument I said I knew.
We gave Josh a kazoo.
Wow.
And Cameron.
Say it again, John Cena.
It was John Cena.
Yeah, that's John Cena's theme song.
That's a clean edit.
That is identical to John Cena's theme song.
Ooh, I mean, but it was a magical moment.
It sounds
Hold
like a
on.
magical moment.
Go through the story again. You're struggling to crack
Right.
a king crab.
I'm hungry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
A
comes
big
up.
arm reaches over your
He
shoulder.
sees me struggling. This massive forearm. As soon as I saw the forearm, I'm like, this guy's gonna be able to crack this for sure. And so he cracks it, and like
you gauged it by
this
forearm.
beautiful sweet meat falls out.
Yeah. I bet he was probably a professional cracker at the time.
The problem was like I was still confused, like why somebody was touching
Your meat.
my meat. Yeah, my
But
food.
here's the thing, though. Now that you've met John Cena, the professional wrestler,
The thing is, I don't understand why he feels the need to help me.
Who?
John Cena. Every time I run into him.
do you hear his theme song whenever you run into him?
Yeah, honestly, when the first thing I heard was that crack.
Yeah.
And then instantly I
The year is 1910.
Okay.
On the outskirts of a wooded area in Duval County lies the small town of Baldwin, Florida.
Baldwin. We're
Baldwin.
starting in Florida.
Wow. This is a
Population 200.
Wow.
Perfect.
It's getting late, so the citizens of Baldwin are putting on their pajamas and blowing out their lanterns
Whoa.
and really getting the kind of bedtime process going. They're checking off their bedtime list. Do you guys have a checklist at bedtime? Things you have to do?
Head sock, put the head
Right.
sock on,
Right.
blow the candle out, kick
Right.
the dog.
Right.
What?
Yes.
He's
So,
got to set the alarm.
Kiss the dog.
Kiss the dog.
These people are going to bed in Baldwin. They're asking themselves, have we shut our gate? Have we closed the windows? Have we left the offering of meat on the front porch for Penelope?
Pardon.
Back up.
Offering of meat. Yes.
Okay.
Who's Penelope?
Okay, so if that last item doesn't sound familiar,
Mhm.
leaving an offering of meat on the front porch for Penelope, it's possible you haven't heard the story of Alligator Joe and his giant pet alligator Penelope.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely
I think
possible.
maybe the 200 people in Bamboo County, Duval, whatever it's called.
All right, well, let's back up like 40 years here.
Okay.
Alligator Joe was born June 10th, 1872 in Berhampur, India.
Okay.
Berhampa.
Yep.
See, I'm more familiar with Berhampa than Baldwin.
Right,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Uh,
Very
so-
popular city
Right.
in India.
Berhampa.
Joe's born in India. His father was a British steamboat captain,
Nice.
living and
Okay.
working in India. And so at a very young age, Joe was used to being on the water surrounded by exotic animals.
Right.
I know what this is. A Little Princess, that Disney movie. With
You know
all the
exactly
green
where
in
we're
it.
going.
Mhm.
Alligator Joe, the little princess.
Yep.
As a youngster, Joe would ride on his family's steamboat up and down the rivers of India,
Mhm.
hanging off the side, collecting snakes.
Oh,
Well,
Collecting.
there was
right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not what I would do
No.
if I was
You
riding
want
on
to
a
whip
steamboat.
those away from the steamboat.
You
Right.
do. So basically, Joe's life was very similar to the Jungle Cruise at Disney World.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I mean, like
Yep.
if you need a visual,
Mhm.
the Disney ride, the Jungle
Right.
Cruise,
Picturing
very
it.
similar to what Joe grew up in. The guy had zero fear of jungle creatures.
Nice.
I think if you grow up whipping snakes away from your boat,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you solved that. So multiple times as a child, Joe fell off of his father's boat
Mm.
into the water surrounded by crocodiles.
Okay,
And
okay.
miraculously, he was never injured.
bad
Well,
time to fall off.
I mean, I it sounds, courageous, but
Mhm.
alligators, we do that all the time here.
That is
That's
true.
true,
We're
yeah.
kind of
I
accustomed
mean, but
to
You
it.
go in a
crocodiles,
bottle.
I think, are a little meaner.
Are
Well,
they?
well, the locals in India said that the crocodiles didn't harm Joe,
Mhm.
and this is a quote, because he had a calling on his life to tame and take care of wild creatures. So the locals in India believed that when he fell into the crocodile-infested water, they kind of felt like his spirit and knew
Right.
this guy's going to take care of us one day.
And they can feel that.
They can feel
Usually,
crocodiles can
yeah.
feel that they're feely animals.
As long as you're not wearing a swimsuit.
Right,
That's what I
exactly. So basically, this kid was like one boating accident away from being Mowgli in the Jungle Book. I mean, like,
Was he eaten by a crocodile?
Why does he keep falling off?
I
Why
don't
aren't
know.
there
They're
ropes on
deep
this
in the
boat?
jungles of India.
Okay.
But Joe developed a reputation for saving animals and nurturing them back to health. So imagine being Joe's parents. Like, you own a successful steamboat, you're in India, and you're constantly taking passengers up and down these jungle rivers. Meanwhile, your son's in the back of the boat,
Falling off.
with injured, falling off, and he's helping injured snakes and injured crocodiles and nursing them back to health.
Well, I think if he falls on them, it's only right to help them.
To pull them up. I'm sorry about that. Let me help you.
A concussion? I'm sorry.
Right. But this guy was no joke. He really had a gift for finding injured animals and then taking care of them. That's what Joe was known for in the area. So like most parents, Joe's mom and dad didn't like him toying with crocodiles.
Right.
But it
Makes
was
sense.
something that came natural to him. And so he continued to do it his entire like early life.
I'm not a parent, so I really can't even speak on this.
As a parent, I don't want my kid playing with crocodiles.
Really?
Is that universal?
I mean, but if they have a calling on their life.
That's true. Only the Crocs can
Who
tell.
are we to get involved?
Exactly.
You're right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at the age of 17, Joe's father
What?
passed away.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And since his dad was the captain of the boat, and neither Joe nor his mom showed any interest in continuing that business,
What? You want to teach your wife or your kid how to drive the
Right.
steamboat?
neither
right?
one of them wanted to.
Oh, okay.
So they sell the family steamboat and they move to
Wow.
America.
Oh,
Wow.
even better.
I feel like you want the steamboat to drive to America, right?
Maybe.
You come for free.
Here's the thing. They really wanted their new home in the States to resemble the jungles of India.
Okay.
So they moved to Florida.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
that checks
yeah.
out.
At the
Do you
time,
guys have crocodiles here? Because I'm looking for some crocodiles.
We have got a relative.
Yeah, during that time period, I mean, it was pretty identical, actually. Old school Florida looked like old school India.
Yeah.
I've always said that.
Okay.
You have always said that.
So Joe and his mother purchased a plot of land along the St. Johns River, and right away, Joe's back to his old ways.
Oh, yeah.
He was constantly bringing home possums, raccoons,
goodness.
snakes,
Healing them?
anything that was injured.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
bringing them back to health. But the vast majority of the animals that Joe rescued were alligators.
Okay.
From what? I've
Not
never
the
seen an
easiest
injured
one to rescue.
Yeah, I've never seen an injured alligator.
Joe had a penchant for it.
When was the
Okay.
last time you were in a river?
I look at a lot of alligators on the internet. I've never seen one with like a cast on.
Well, maybe Joe's not around anymore, okay? But basically, on the back of their one-bedroom log cabin, Joe built a recovery room for just about every native species of
Wow.
alligator in
What?
northern Florida.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
dedication.
Like a little gator Noah's Ark.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the parents said this is just a phase, and he's like, "I'm gonna prove it's not."
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's not a phase, Mom. I love alligators. Without any formal training whatsoever, Joe became the county's animal doctor.
Okay, this sounds
Okay.
about right. Then.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
if nobody else is interested, I think you're just automatically in.
The kid playing with alligators. They're like,
I've
hey,
got a
you,
hurt gator over here, and everybody's like, "Let's cook it."
Yeah.
No.
Joe's like, no, sir, I'm going to fix it. So Joe's cabin was on the outskirts of the little town we mentioned earlier, Baldwin, Florida. So anytime the citizens of Baldwin had, a hurt farm animal or a pet, they would bring it to Joe, and
He'd
he
feed
would
it to his gators.
he
not
would
where-
he
oh.
would nurse it back to health.
Oh,
but
phew.
that is the problem.
Oh, no.
Joe's cabin's full of alligators,
Jeez.
and these people
Right.
of Baldwin, Florida, are bringing him little kitty cats and puppies.
Okay.
Oh, geez.
And he's like, this is getting difficult because
Yeah.
he wanted to do both. He wanted to heal their pets and still take care of
Feed, yeah.
alligators.
right.
So basically, Joe comes up with a plan. He tells the citizens of Baldwin that it wasn't safe for them to bring their pets to his alligator-filled cabin.
Yeah.
So instead, he would make weekly house calls.
Okay. That was the
that's-
first.
Yeah, but he's bringing his pet gator.
Well,
Oh my gosh!
No.
Don't even.
once a week, he would come into town,
Okay.
check up on everyone's animals, and then go back home. Everybody wins.
Cool.
But to do this,
Mm-mm.
Joe needed transportation.
No.
Do not.
There's no
Do not
way.
say
It was a pretty decent walk from his
Okay.
cabin into the town of
Oh
Baldwin.
my gosh!
And Joe couldn't afford a horse because being an amateur volunteer veterinarian doesn't pay well.
All I had to find is an injured one and fix it.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
for real.
Joe does the next best thing. The obvious answer was for Joe to ride the largest alligator he could find
Okay.
into town to make
Possibly.
home visits.
What?
So fortunately for Joe, one of his rescued gators was a 13-foot-long, 1,000-pound alligator named Penelope.
This is ridiculous. I've heard a lot of dumb stories, but this riding an alligator.
Penelope was one of Joe's first rescues, and he was quite fond of her. She was well tamed. He called her his gentle giant. So picture this guy.
Okay.
He fashions a saddle for Penelope.
Oh my gosh.
And in 1909, Joe becomes the first man in the United States to use an alligator for transportation.
Oh my gosh. Now, do you make a gator skin saddle? Because it is soft.
I think he made a puppy skin saddle.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
No, so that's how Alligator Joe would make home visits. That's how he got his nickname.
Right, let's go see the injured dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Let me ride my 1,000-pound alligator to
Here's
do
the
that.
fun fact.
Wow.
There was never an accident or an incident.
What?
Penelope was super well
Goodness.
tamed. So basically every week, Joe would ride Penelope into town to check and see if there were any sick animals or, any farm animals.
Now,
that
did he
needed
have
tended to.
a whip to like whip her to speed
No,
up?
he
Yeah,
just patted her.
Right, how fast is he getting into town?
Well, a gator can go like 35 miles an hour. That's
If
why
they
you got to
want
go
to,
zigzag.
though.
Yeah.
I think Penelope wanted to. And so as a thank you, the citizens of Baldwin would place scraps of meat on their front porch
Oh my
so that
gosh.
Penelope could have a little snack on her way out of town.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Anything get her out of
basically-
It's
town.
please don't eat me.
When alligators are trained, they're very intelligent. And so when she would see this main strip of town, she would know on all these porches there's like meat.
Oh, so she is wanting to get into town.
And so the citizens are playing
Okay.
along and kind of helping this out. So it's like a weird Florida Santa. I mean, like
Okay.
it's a really
This sounds very Old Testament.
yeah, no, for real. The interesting thing is that people loved Alligator Joe, and he genuinely was doing a lot of good for the community
Right.
and the animals. Like he's rescuing animals. So it's really easy to get caught up in how crazy it all is, but the guy was doing amazing stuff. In 1911, it was estimated that Alligator Joe had over 35 alligators at his cabin.
my
gosh.
goodness.
on
I don't
his
think he's
property.
doing a good job repairing them then, right?
I think he's repairing them and then just kind of keeping them.
I gotcha.
Yeah, like
Okay.
it's kind of like a zoo because word began spreading around Florida that this guy was doing this, and it became this unsanctioned alligator zoo. People were
Oh.
coming over from all over the state to see Joe and his alligators.
Right.
Yep.
So it was becoming more of like a theme park thing
Well,
at
just
this
to
point.
see him ride his alligator.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm interested
Well,
in.
here's the interesting thing. That same year, 1911, unfortunately for Joe and his gators, the state of Florida passed a law saying that anyone who killed an alligator would be rewarded with a 1-week salary.
Oh,
What?
what?
They thought it was overpopulating,
Okay.
and they basically encouraged the citizens of Florida, if you kill a gator, we'll pay you 1 week of what you make at whatever you do for
I got
living.
35
He's
weeks.
got 35 weeks.
That's the thing. So Joe
Oh, no.
loves these animals.
Yep.
He wants to protect them. And now the state of Florida just told everybody, if you see a gator, kill it.
oh,
that's
no.
For a certain amount of time, that's what they're doing. So obviously this is awful. It was a huge problem for Joe. Because now people from outside of his little town, they know about his rescue farm.
Right. No.
Because word's already been spreading. So about 3 weeks after the state of Florida makes this announcement, Joe gets word that an actual gang of hunters
Oh,
What?
my
are traveling
gosh.
north to his rescue center to kill all 35 of his gators.
Oh my gosh.
So they see his place as a gold mine.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Work for a day, take off the rest of the year.
Sure.
Amen. I've
So
always said that.
unfortunately, Joe can't defend this place by himself.
Mm-mm.
So he reaches out to the townspeople of Baldwin and says, look, like, can you help me out here?
Of course.
The townspeople were like,
yeah.
Oh,
got-
you want us to get in between alligators
and hunters?
people
and
with
alligator
guns?
hunters.
Yeah, that's exactly what they said. They're like, no, thank you. Like, we love
they
you,
said no,
dude.
thank
Like,
you.
we
Wow.
can't help you on this.
Right.
Wow.
But luckily, someone in town gives Joe a tip.
Oh.
okay.
He says, look, slightly north of us, there are some like-minded individuals. They might
Okay.
like you. They might
Alligator
like,
lovers.
They might like
alligator
what you're doing.
lovers. Yep.
And we think that if you reach out to them, plead your case, they might help you. So Joe does that. He pays them a visit.
hmm
On November 1st, 1911, 6 men on horseback with rifles show up at Joe's rescue center,
Uh-oh.
ready to
Okay.
kill every last one of his alligators.
Naturally. Yep.
Luckily for the gators, the folks from up north of us, of Joe, they heard his plea and they showed up to help save the day. Standing with Joe, ready to defend the
Oh
gators,
my gosh.
were 10 men and women riding on ostriches
What?
and
Oh my
carrying
God.
rifles.
Please.
What?
Joe had
Please.
reached out to the Ostrich Ranch and theme
Oh
park
my
in Jacksonville, Florida
gosh.
for help. And they showed up in force. Hand to God, this is true.
No.
Just stop.
Way.
We covered these folks in episode 89 of our show.
Okay.
It's a ranch full of people who raise ostriches and they would ride and race them for transportation.
Wayne, I think we've done it here. You've combined all these crazy stories
Thank you.
into one, and now you kind of jump the shark.
Here's
you
what's
can't be like
here's what's
any more
interesting
extreme.
about this. The ostrich farm, if you remember from that episode, they started kind of the same way. They would rescue animals, and then it became this kind of thing. So they catch wind of what's going on, and they were wanting to get a hold of Alligator Joe as well and go, hey, man, like, we're not putting up with this. Like, we want to help you in any way whatsoever.
There was a bounty on ostriches.
We would
like a
expect
year
you to
ago.
come help.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's the cool thing. Not only did they save the lives of the alligators, but they also granted Joe a larger space on their ranch
Wow.
to keep and rehabilitate the alligators. So from that point forward, the ostrich farm in Jacksonville not only featured people riding ostriches, but also featured the famous Alligator Joe riding Penelope around
my
the ostrich farm.
Gosh.
So whenever you would go visit the
Wow.
ostrich farm, you would see the ostriches and you would see the gator portion of the zoo as well.
For a
This is-
second, I thought you were going to say Bone Mizell was going to show up and save the day.
Lord, I
But
wish.
That's even crazier.
That is
10
crazier.
people on ostriches show
It's-
up.
What's amazing about this, and so if you've ever looked up the ostrich farm in
Yep.
Jacksonville, you had to be a pretty small person to ride ostriches.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think had these people not come on the birds, the hunters would have been like, yeah, we're just going to move you out of the way.
But the birds are there also.
But that's how intimidating is it? There's a human being sitting on an ostrich. There's an army of them. Going,
Ostriches are like the top 5 intimidating animals.
Bird
Yeah.
also.
The
yeah.
day was saved. They worked together, and then from that point forward, again, Alligator Joe was a feature along with Annie Oakley at the ostrich
Wow.
farm.
This place has it all.
It absolutely was an amazing thing. So episode,
Cameron played Annie Oakley, right?
and
Yeah.
Annie Get Your Gun.
The
And Annie
sidekick
Get
of
Your
Annie
Gun.
Oakley.
He did. Joe continued to take care and rescued injured crocodile or alligators, at the zoo in Jacksonville until his death in 1926. So that is, that is not a legend. That's a fact. Alligator Joe
That
and the
is
ostrich farm
insanity.
of Jacksonville.
Just to paint a picture.
Yeah.
Does he sit upright? Because if it's me on a 13-foot alligator,
You're going to lay down.
it's a chaise lounge all day. There's no way I'm sitting upright and getting my ergonomics all messed up.
Right.
It was definitely a gimmick. Truth be told, when he's coming in from his
Or is he
cabin,
surfing on
he
it?
was walking Penelope, and then when he gets into town, he kind of
he
straddles
rides.
her, and then she
How
takes
do you
him the rest
move
of the way.
35 alligators to another city?
I
That's
like
true.
Santa Claus. He moves reindeer. Why couldn't you do that?
You tie them all up.
Same kind of magic, same
Okay,
kind of prayer.
That makes sense. They fly.
Yeah.
2x2.
Right.
In
Yep,
fact,
Noah's
if
Ark.
boys and girls are good in Florida, that's what shows up at your house.
Yes.
They say Alligator Joe will show up.
Alligator Joe. And
Just throw some meat outside.
if you haven't left meat, you know what you get instead of a sack of coal.
Yeah.
chomp.
Alligator poo.
And chomp chomp.
And if you're good, you get an alligator tooth under your pillow.
Come on, episode 119. We hope we've blessed you guys. Right now, we're being watched by our live streamers.
Uh-oh.
We love our live streamers. Patreon.com/FMOFM podcast is where you can see all the behind the scenes stuff. We want to say thank you to our listeners, to our community manager, Jason.
Absolutely.
And to everybody that makes this show happen. We love you. And man, we'll see you around, I guess.
See you around.
See
Come
ya.
on. Can we get a John Cena on the way out? There it is.
Glad I got the right end.